forward. Okay, thanks. Okay, so from here, go ahead and take your right hand, palm up. You're going to thread through between your arm and your knee. And you're going to bring that shoulder, right shoulder down onto the mat. And you're going to try to bring your right ear down to the mat. And you're going to turn and look at your right hand. And the last thing you want to do is you want to adjust your hips. So you want to square up your hips as much as possible. Good. Come back up. You're going to fold right at the elbow. Say now you're going to bring your elbow as far to your left knee as possible. Boom, as far as possible. Then you're going to bring your hand down, right? And then bring that shoulder down. And you could place your ear on your palm here. And then adjust your hips. Square up your hips. Good. Let's go to the other side. Palm up, thread. Ear down to the mat. Square your hips. Bend at the elbow. Go back down. Bring that elbow across your body. Good. Come up. Let's go and walk our hands out to the left as far as we can. And you want to focus on your right hand, right? Your right hand is going to be reaching now forward. You're going to think about your right armpit pressing down to the mat as your left hip fall to the as your right hip fall to the left. Now we're going to go walk, and go to the other side. Reach to the right, hips to the left. All right, come back up and look. I'm going to keep my right leg post and active, my toes active, and my knee. I'm going to step up and kind of line my foot to the knee here. Right, I'm going to line it up. Let me get a little bit closer. I'm going to line it up. My toes are pointing out in that direction. First thing we want to do is let's stretch our ankle a little bit. To stretch your ankle, you pull that heel close to you. And from here, you're going to go ahead and you put your hand on your hip, rock forward, and then come back. So forward this way, laterally. Boom, right? You leave your heels down onto the mat first, right? And lift up a little bit to release the pressure if it's too much. So back, one more, back. Now we're going to move our leg kind of midway, sort of line up with the knee here, right? You're doing a 90 here. And from here, you're going to go rock. Good. Now I want to go a little bit farther, where your foot is farther out than your knee, and you're gonna rock. Good. So come back, put that knee down. We're gonna do the other side. So foot, heels a little bit closer to you, foot pointing to the right, hands on the hip, and we're gonna go forward and back. Go ahead and walk your foot out, kind of the same level as your knee. You're creating like kind of a 90 angle here, right? The knee, your thigh, and go ahead, push, and then come back. One more. And then we're going to go farther. And Good. All right, so bring it back. We're gonna go ahead and come into your elbows, right? And then scoot your legs back where you're laying on your belly. Your head, you're gonna watch me first and then we'll do it. But your head's gonna be on the ground, kind of you're lifting up your shoulder a little bit, right? Your chest, I mean, a little bit. So from here, look, I'm gonna have my palm down, right? And I'm gonna move as far as I can back, and then I'm gonna switch the palm down as fast, and then I'm gonna switch, and then I'm gonna go all the way, right, to the middle back, and then I'm gonna come back, switch, and then bring it all the way. So I'm lifting my head is kind of hovering over the ground. My chest is a little bit off the ground while we're doing this. So let's give that a try. Shoulder mobility here. So we're gonna start out, right, with our hand behind our head here, and then we're gonna go extend, palm down, go as far as we can, switch the hand movement, and then go back the same way we came back. Couple more times. Abs tight. Okay, come back up. One last stretch. You're gonna come into your knees here, and let's go ahead and point, right? Turn and point your hands behind, facing your knee, and from here, let's go ahead and sit back. You're gonna keep pressing the palms down onto the ground. Don't lift it up. Sit back as far as you can here, right? And then come forward, and then back, and then forward, and then back, and forward, and back. Hold it for a little bit longer. All right, I lied. There's another stretch. Let's get our neck warm up too. So I am gonna sit. I like to sit kind of like my toes active, and my right arm's gonna go behind, palm facing out, and then I'm gonna clasp my hand, and I'm gonna go ahead and rest right the palm on my hip here. So and then from here, so it's my right arm that's going around. So I'm gonna turn and try to touch my ear to my shoulder, my left ear to my shoulder, right? So that's the first one, touch ear to shoulder. And then I'm gonna look up diagonally. And then I'm gonna look down diagonally. So medium, middle, which is ear to shoulder, and then back. Then go all the way down diagonally. One more time. Medium and back. And then we're going to go ahead and pull our arm to the other side and the same thing. Why don't we start down, ear to shoulder, and then look up diagonally, and ear to shoulder, and then go down, and then middle, and then back. Go back again, middle, and then we're going to look down. All right. I've been loving these exercises. Wanted to share it with you guys. Okay, so where's my phone? That got me really kind of stretched out and relaxed now. Can we just take a nap? Shoot. 5. Okay, so we're gonna do these 5 exercises. The first one, you're gonna start. Let me bring you guys a little bit lower here. We're gonna start out with your knees on the mat, you're gonna put your hand kind of diagonally to the side, pointing diagonally here. And then you're gonna jump into a surfer stance, boom, here. Once you get here, look, you're in a wide stance, low, and you're gonna go one knee, two knee, and then come back up, boom, and then you're gonna go back to where you started. And then the other side, wide. So it's going boom, boom. Oh, why don't, I think it's easier if we go side and then come back. So versus like both of them on the knee. So just dip them, dip one, come back, and then dip the other. All right, the next one is, we haven't done this in a while, a shoulder roll. I hope you can do this where you're at, but right, boom, shoulder roll, and then come up. And from here, let's do, because it's like 1 minute of this is a little nutty. So I'm gonna put a pause in that. So from here, you're gonna do 1, 2, 3, right? And then shoulder roll backwards. So you're gonna go boom and back, right? And then 1, 2, 3, boom, right? And then come up, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, the next one, you're gonna be sitting on your butt and one leg full, the other leg post, right? And from here, you're gonna get on your back, right? And roll on the shoulder that the leg is fold. So you're gonna roll, and this leg is gonna come up. You're gonna straighten the fold leg, kick. You're gonna come back. From here, you're gonna come up, boom, and the same hand as the posted leg is, it's almost like you're holding onto your partner's gi, and you're gonna come up. And then you're gonna go back. So the first, we're gonna do 2 rounds. So the first round, maybe just focus on this side, right? You're gonna go again, kick, back, up. Okay. Okay, the next one, it's the same from here. You're gonna start from here, again, the back, active toes from here. You're gonna go ahead and lean forward, come up, and then knee slide, boom, and then go back in the same way that you came up, boom, boom. Well, I went in the other way, so boom, boom. So you're gonna come up, right? And then knee slide, so do just one side, and then shuffle back, and then whatever side you came in, boom, go back the same way, sit back, come up, right? Almost like technical stand up, boom, boom, pivot, come up, knee slide, go back, and go the same way that you came in, up. So you should be a stagger stance already, knee slide. All right, that was 4, 5. You could do it with a pillow, without a pillow, with your dummy. But what you want to do is, you're here, right? You're here on your belly. You're gonna jump, boom, up into knee on belly, and then hug the head, boom, right? And then you're gonna go pendulum, boom, and then bring this leg that's on the belly, stretch down, and you're on the other side, right? So that's with the dummy. Without a dummy, imagine that's the head right here, right? The head is right here, so you're gonna come up, boom, knee on belly. The same side arm as the knee and belly is gonna go down. You're gonna go bring your elbow down onto the mat, and then you're gonna go ahead and pendulum back, and then fold the leg, and then you're on your belly again. People have that? I don't have it. That's why I have a little note. You guys can follow me. All right. So the first one is the surfer stance to wide squat. Ready, go. The next one is for forward roll squats and then backward roll. Forward roll you want to do. Forward roll to stand up, and then 1, 2, 3. Backward roll to stand up. All right, so we're gonna sit with our one leg full, the other leg post. We're gonna go ahead and roll on our shoulder, dip, and then come up. Just one side. All right, so sitting in the same stance, we're gonna come up, boom, boom, come up, knees slide, pull the back leg up, shuffle, 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 and then go down the same way you came up. And repeat, boom. Pick up your speed once you get used to this. Slide. Knee on belly. So, All right, take a quick water break. All right, let's go. Second round. Whew. The sofa stands and what to wide squat. Let's go. Shoulder roll to squats. Next. All right. All right. Up, boom, knee slide, shuffle, 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 shuffle. right, knee on belly. All right. All right. All right. So March is going to be all about the turtle position. So that said, I'm going to start talking about different stances that you can have in the turtle when you're on top, and different grips, right? Start from the beginning and then want to keep going, adding. So go grab your dummy, stuffed animal, whatever you got. I can't really like use my stuffed animal because it's kind of long, so I need something like small on turtle. So I'm using this. All right, so I'm going to talk about the different stances you can have, right? In a turtle when you're behind someone. I'm going to show 3 different stances. So your partner's in a turtle. The first one is where what is it, knee clamp or a horse ride or whatever, right? You're going to have one here and then the other on your partner's hips, right? You're going to clamp, boom, on top and lean forward, right? And then from here, you can have numerous types of grip. You can have the seatbelt grip, boom, here, boom, right? You can have come in and grab one arm, come in and grab the other arm, or you grab one and then the other. So some of hand configuration here, right? So the horse ride is the first one, number 1. Number 1. The second one, which I think is very common, right, is you have your knee on the ground here, on the ground, next to the leg, and then the other leg kind of post up and pinching on the side of the hip, on the far side of the hip. So kind of this stance here, right? The stance here, and you're clamping at the hip, controlling the hip, and you're more like diagonally. All of this is like diagonal to the body, right? So this is the near side hip and far side shoulder, so you're kind of diagonal to them. And again, the configuration could be the seat belt, 1 arm, 2 arms, right? Whatever, you lean forward and you grab. And then the third one is both of your legs are on the side, more like this, right? And here, probably the most common here is like the seatbelt grip here, and you're holding, which is on the side. So your leg configuration is this, right? You're here, or even pushing in, right? Boom, here, diagonally. So again, first one, horse ride, knee at the hip, boom, boom, and you can grab whatever you want. Second one, the near side knee on the ground. Make sure that your knee on the far, holding the hip on the far side, whatever grip you prefer. And then the third one is here, right? Boom, holding from the side. So I want you to practice those 3 stances. First one, second one, third one, and then repeat. And then once you get used to that, go ahead and do the other side. I'm going to give you some time, and then we're going to keep going. So instead of you being like on the back of your partner, you want to be diagonally, right? Diagonally. Boom. Not so much like on the back of them. You want to be on the side diagonally. All right. So those are like the common stance that you take in a turtle, right? And then I'm going to talk about like the different types of control that you can have. I'm going to talk about, let's see, head, wrists, and then hips, right? I'm going to start out with the hips. So the hips, they're here. I am gonna, if I'm on this side, whatever stance I take, on here, you know, the second one or the first one, or even, you know, this one, the third one, I'm gonna go for the second one, right? You want to, this is like the hip here. This is the leg and this is the arm. You want to control the hip, and you want to use, ideal is you want to use, right, if you can in no-gi, it'd be all the way, if you have long limbs, you can go all the way to the hips, all across the hips, and kind of hook or rest your hand there. But it's not your hand really, it's your elbow at the hip that's controlling, right? So if your arms are shorter, then it would be like in the belly, right? And then if it's super short, then you're hooking at the hip, right? And but you know, in this one, your elbow is not there. So I mean, it works, but you know, ideally you want to kind of probably in the middle range where your hand is resting on the belly, and it's your elbow kind of controlling your limbs, your elbow limbs controlling. It's not really your hand, it's your elbow that's controlling that, right? So that's the hip control. So I'm going to do number 2, which is foot on the mat and my knee on the far side hip. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to do mid range, right? And from here, I am going to sort of move myself, right? This is the turtle. I'm going to use my elbow. I want you to think about using your elbow. So this free hand is on the mat. So I'm going to move, right? A lot of times you move your knee first, and then it's your hand and your other limbs. And you're going to move and pull, right? So it's like this, you're holding, and you didn't actually got to move, right? So it's hard. Maybe you could do this and then move, but a lot of times I like to move my knee and then boom, right? So it's your elbow kind of. So I want you to think about using your elbow kind of as you holding, right? So give that a try. You can just switch. So I want you to think about using your elbow to manipulate your partner's hips versus the hand per se, right? Move out of the way and then roll your partner's hip to where you were before. All right. You're going to get to practice a little bit more. So let's say that you are doing that technique, boom, and you're here and you have your hand in and you're moving, but they're super tight or strong and you cannot roll them over. You can switch now to the other side, right? So now your hand is going to come in. The hand that's on the belly is going to post, and then you're going to switch your post, boom, and come in and then do the other side. So go ahead and switch side to side now. You have to be quiet, okay? Yep, and yeah, and then switching side and then pulling. So remember, you want to focus your elbow on the hips. All right. So we know how to switch from side to side. So that's the hip control. The head control, I'm going to demonstrate from number 3 stance, right? Which is here. I'm here. I'm going to do a seatbelt. So the closest shoulder, my arm will go over the shoulder, right? The seatbelt grip, boom, here. And from here, I am going to go ahead and move towards the head. Oh my God. I'm going to go ahead and move towards the head, almost like squaring up my hips. And I want to think about bringing my shoulder, right? My shoulder up. And I'm using kind of like my forearm on top of the shoulder and pressing down, right? It's almost like when you have like a single leg, it's really hard if your shoulder is below, but if you have your shoulder on top, you can use your shoulder to like bring your partner down. So you're throwing this boom on their thigh, right? It's the same thing. So your seatbelt here and you're here. So you're gonna come squared up and you're gonna pull and bring like your tricep and shoulder on top of your partner's head. And it's super strong control here. Boom, right? So you're here, you're squaring and you're almost like touching your head onto the ground here, right? If from here you could do a number of things. You can roll, boom, boom, and bring your partner. But right now we just want to get that control. So seatbelt and your number 3, here, seatbelt. You're gonna pull, think about bringing your shoulder on top. You're gonna bring that knee down and almost, if you have a live person, you can even like tripod to get the full weight of your body, right? And even shifting your hip a little bit towards the head. So give that a try. Oh my God, the teddy bear is shedding like crazy, and it's all in my mouth and everything. Ugh. So if you want to see with the dummy, I don't know if the dummy is a little bit better. So seatbelt, I'm here, I'm gonna pull and bring my shoulder on top and boom, right? And I can even tripod and lean my weight. That's one way. Right. So that's the head control, and then the wrist control, right? Wrist control, this is like for somebody who is like super tight, boom here, and you can't put your leg in, or, you know, it's really hard to get a grip, right? The really tight boom like this. So you can't put your limbs in, like your foot in, but your hands are really like thin, right? Really thin, you can slide your hand in there. So if you are in that situation where they're just all curled up really tight, tight, and you can't, you know, slide your knee in, right? And you're having a hard time. What you're gonna do is you're gonna either grab at the near side shoulder or the far side shoulder, right? And from here, I'm gonna grab the near side shoulder, and my hand, usually the knee is, right, the elbow and the knee are like touching like this, usually, boom, really tight. So what we're gonna slide in through this little hole here, this little hole here. Usually it's really tight, right? But we're gonna go between the leg and the arm here. So under the armpit, kind of. So tight, boom. We're gonna grab the lapel, the shoulder, but we're gonna lift and then slide our hand in, right? So it's gonna come in, it's gonna go boom, it's really thin, it should be able to come in. You're gonna grab, and remember the concept of grabbing, you know, you grab like them at the wrist, they could totally break away, but if you grab at the hand here, you have a lot more control. So that's the aim. You're gonna go in, grab the hand and pull towards their chest, right? And from here, you can go boom, sit back and then bring them up, right? Or you could do things like, if it's really hard, you can go around to the other side and make them, you know, you can go boom, 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 boom to the other side, right? Come up and attack on the other side. But I just want you to focus on how to get that arm. It's really tight, how to break that, right? So in here, you're here. So near side shoulder or far side shoulder, but you're gonna lift and then slide in between the armpit and the hip. Boom, come in, grab the far side arm and bring it, boom, close to their hip. I mean, chest, and then the arm can come in, right? And you can sit back, boom, switch your leg. There's different configuration. You can come back, boom, and then take the back here, right? What we've been learning. So give that a try. Try both sides. All right. Was that a sufficient time to like drill that? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do a drill, right? The stance are 1, 2, and 3. The first one is the horse ride, the knee pinch, whatever. Boom, here, right? The second one is knee down and side pinch. And then the third one is here, right? So 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna say 1, hip control. So you're gonna start with knee pinch, boom, right? Knee pinch. And then you're gonna go probably put your knee on that, boom, boom, boom. And then you can control the hips, right? Learn how to control the hips. If I say 3, neck control, you're gonna start in the 3 stance and then go into controlling the head. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So get your position ready. And okay. 1 hip. So horse ride, get the hip control. Either you reach all the way to the other hip, put your hand on the belly, or put your hand on the far side hip and then roll them over. So 3 head control. 3 head. Two wrists. Start with number 2 and then go and get the hip wrist control. One head. Three waist. Three hips. Three wrists. Two hips. All right, just finish it. All right, so from here, I think we have enough time to just go into, we're gonna work on Crucifix for a little while. And we're gonna go from taking the back and going to Crucifix. So I'm gonna teach how to get there, right? So I'm gonna start out with maybe the first one, I get the hip, or the second stance, and I get the hip and I roll, right? And you see that space. A lot of times they're gonna try to boom, come back and there's space there, right? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and your hand, your post hand is gonna go ahead and trap your partner's hand here, right? When you do that, you can post now on the mat and come to your leg. So it's like this. You're here and you move, post, grab the hand, and then you're gonna come to your knee here. And then from here, right, the hand could be on the mat here. You're gonna knee slide, boom, right? So it looks like this. You're gonna roll. They're gonna go back. You're gonna grab their hand, come up, and then your knee will slide under your partner's armpit and slide all the way through. So it's like boom, you can come up and then knee slide under, right here. under the leg, and then the second leg is going to come in and catch the arm. You let go, right? And you're going to pull and then square your hips up towards your partner now. You're going to pull with your heel, boom, and square. And this foot comes behind your other knee here, and this hand just goes in, and you can have a seatbelt here. Go back and get the seatbelt, or your hand just come in. You can grab the shoulder, and the other hand grabs the hand, forehand, right? So again, we're gonna start out. Let me see if this is easier. I'm not sure. So you hear I'm riding. I'm gonna go boom, 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 right? And the hand here, I'm gonna post here, walk to the side a little bit, slide the knee under, and then I'm gonna catch the leg with my heel. Now I'm gonna square up, and look, the leg that I'm catching, the arm will come behind my other leg. So it's coming behind here, locking in, and you can get a seatbelt here if you want. And then next week we're gonna go to different attack positions, but give that a try. So again, right, I'm here, I'm gonna go move, press, come up, knee slide, right? I'm gonna bring the knee in, I'm gonna catch the leg, I'm gonna square it up, and then lock. I'm gonna give you, sorry, just 1 minute to do that. We'll review this next week. All right, any questions? Sorry to be in a rush. I'm starting a class in a little bit, and I got to get ready. But any questions? No? Okay, we're going to keep doing this for the month of March. You have no questions, thank you, and I'll see some of you on Thursday.
Thanks, Molly. I'm gonna I'll go log in at 6:10.
Uh-huh.
To the other thing.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll do the same thing. Okay, bye-bye.
There. Bye.
Bye.